If you're a purist, turn off now. If you're not and you like something interesting, this might be the car for you. Modern Japanese power, classic British styling. This is the Ford Granada. I'm going to point out we're at Santa Pod, so there's going to be a lot of noise, but we're here with Mark. Mark, thank you so much for coming here today.
No, I was waiting for me having come down.
Now, we're doing this arse about face, because yes, I've been out in this car already, but I honestly think this is one of my favourite cars we've had on the channel, man. Thank you so much for coming down.
Oh, thank you.
Do you want to just give us a quick few bullet points on the car? What is it, and what have you done to it?
It's a 1985 Mark II Ford Granada, and it is completely stock.
Yeah, wink.
No, it's a 1985 Mark II Ford Granada, and I have engine swapped it with a 3-litre straight 6 single turbo from, some would say, a Supra.
Yeah, the 2J, the one that everyone wants.
Yeah.
Now, that's just the bullet points of it. Like, there's so much work's gone into this. You've had the car for, I think you said, like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, so I got the car in September 2019. It needed some work doing to it. It didn't need a lot, but it needed some work. The paint and lacquer had gone on the roof, so it needed a respray at some point anyway. So resprayed it in Nardo Grey, just done loads of body work to it, so just changed, it had side mouldings, I took them off, and I think it looks better without the side mouldings. Dechromed a lot of it, because we all know what it's like. Some of these 80s cars back in the day, they
covered them, didn't they?
They covered them in chrome. Like, it had chrome arches. Yeah. That was the first thing I removed.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it. Do you want to just pop the hood quick? Because we're going to start at the party piece first, because as we all know, the 2J I own one, and it is one of the best 6-cylinder engines on the planet. This looks really, really neat. This isn't a throw it in there type job. You've done a lot of work to get this to where it is now, right? Yeah,
definitely. So, my friends Michael and his brother Craig, they're the one that done the work for me. It was quite difficult getting it in there. It took about 20 times of just testing it to get it in there. We tried both sumps, like the rear facing one and the front facing sump. That just didn't work because it kept sitting too high, so then we had to go for a custom made sump that made it sit in there lower, so it's still got the original cross member in there.
They're quite a big engine bay, aren't they? So like, even then, you still needed to
it still needs to do quite a bit of work.
Fettling.
Yeah, Range Rover Discovery engine mounts, so they fabricated those to fit the engine. And then once the engine actually went in with the BMW gearbox, it literally went straight in, no modifying to the tunnel, and the gear stick popped out exactly where the original one was.
We were looking at this earlier, and the chance that the gear stick pops up in the same location that it did in the factory car, when you're in it, well, we'll go around to that in a minute, but so it's got a pulsar. You changed the turbo. It had a smaller turbo, a less efficient turbo.
Yeah, so it has an old, outdated turbo. It was a Turbonetics one that it was just because it was outdated, it was discontinued. I couldn't get it refurbed because it was just no one had any parts for it, and it being an American turbo, people don't really like to work on them because
it's probably cheaper just to get one from Pulsar than shout out to Mark at Pulsar than to actually have it rebuilt and send it to the US. They send it back.
Exactly. And it just, with this new turbo on there, it just feels like a completely different car. It spools quicker. and it just, the power's just there instantly, and it just makes it such a different car.
Yeah,
and obviously,
it is.
With the now bigger intercooler, it's got so much more power. It was 360, it's now running 385. So,
but that's really safe. Just put it in perspective. Like, these cars were only designed to have less than half of that. Like, we're talking 2.5 times more power, but it still does everything that the Granada did do.
Yeah.
But goes a lot better, and obviously is super reliable. So that is the engine bay. Stunning bit of kit. It's really, really neat. Just going around to the front. If we just have a walk around the side. So you said that you've upgraded the brakes. So you've got some big brakes on there now as well.
Yes, I have. Yeah. So I upgraded the front brakes to 300mm high spec front brakes. Big brake kick for these. It was made to order.
Yeah.
Because I was originally using it with the original Granada brakes on it, and it was one of those things you have to judge when to stop if I do decide to put my foot down and make sure it's clear. And
there's plenty of power there, so you need to be able to stop ultimately.
Yeah.
Aftermarket wheels, and you're not on coilovers. You decided not to put coilovers on it.
No, so it's got adjustable shocks by Avo, and then it's got lowering springs on it.
Yeah.
So it can't, it still feels stock, but it's got that nice height to it, and it's got the nice feel to it. I mean,
but it's not like rattling your teeth out when you're driving down the road.
With how bad the roads are, it's that's not fun. To me, that's not fun.
No.
You can't enjoy a drive.
It ruins it a little bit sometimes. Let's have a look inside quick, because one of the things that I marvelled at when you opened the door and I got in is how, apart from the Haltech dash, literally, I mean, even the gear stick isn't even a giveaway. The Haltech dash, there's no extra gauges anywhere. It is literally Ford Granada, top to bottom.
Yeah.
Wooden panels in the doors. The gear badge on the door handle, on the armrest, and like even the interior is not too bad either. Is there anything else that's not standard, or is it literally?
It is pretty much a standard Gear X interior on this, and it's something that I chose to not modify or change at all. I did play with the idea of getting Recaro seats, because they did do a version of these, the Sport, that has the Recaro seats.
Yeah.
The old retro ones, the ones that you can get with the, I think they're in a Sierra, I think.
Yeah. But
I was like, no, you will give it away.
It's almost too different.
But you can't go wrong with these seats. They're just so comfortable.
The whole car's like that.
And they're probably more modern than most modern cars out there.
Electric seats on this, 1985 we're talking about. It's got electric seats, fore and aft, and lumbar adjustment and stuff. One thing that you did tell me that I was quite surprised about, which we can't see it from here, was the fact that this is making 2.5 times the power that it did do.
Yeah.
But what rear end are you running in it?
So at the minute it's got the original open Granada diff on it.
Like, how is that even staying in one piece? I don't even know, but it is surviving, isn't it?
It is surviving. I am surprised at how strong it actually is.
Yeah.
And it is, I don't drive it slow.
No.
It's still holding together.
And it's still in one piece. Yeah. What have you got going on in the boot? Is there any fuel system in there, or is it like just...
No, at the minute it is literally filled with camping chairs and cleaning gear. It's just...
But that's so cool, because you're using it. It's not like like an ornament that's getting like, I've done this and that's that. You're actually using it to go like, everyday sort of stuff.
Yeah.
There isn't loads to talk about. Obviously, it's got custom exhaust on it. I presume that's all been...
so it originally did, when I had the V6 in there, I had a full system built by Simpsons. And then obviously when I've done the engine swap, it couldn't use that.
No.
The only thing that's from Simpsons that's still on it is the back box.
Right.
The rest of it is a custom exhaust that, my friend's done when they've done the engine. So
It's apart from that, there isn't loads more. Normally, I mean, you're going to see the cutaways at the back of the car. The styling is bang 80s, like that is exactly it. I love it. I absolutely love the shape of it. But normally we'd go through and talk about the fuel system and all the roll cages and all that sort of stuff. But the rest of it, apart from the colour and the wheels from the outside, really, if we looked in the boot or in the back, it's just a factory car.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. It would literally look to most people just a slightly lowered with different wheels Mark II Granada that someone's just using every day.
Love it. I absolutely love it. So we have already been out of a drive, but the drive is coming up now, and I promise you, you don't want to miss it. Make sure your next car purchase never once looked like this. And you can do that by doing a CarVertical check to make sure the next car you buy hasn't got any mileage discrepancies or outstanding finance or a couple of knocks and bangs, a little bit like this one. So take this Ford Mustang, for example. If you're looking at purchasing this, it checks the mileage, the financial registration and the title check. The mileage and the finance is okay, but it says it's a title check, which might indicate there's no V5, but also it's been damaged. As I scroll down, you can see there's damage pretty significantly to the passenger side front of the car, but in 22, it was repaired and put back on the road. That might give an indication that it's got a bit of a shady past. Scrolling down further, there's more information about theft. It's not been stolen and it's not currently being looked for as being stolen. I then got to the mileage. The mileage is 73,000 miles. It says in 2013 to 2017 it did 50,000 miles, which is a little bit above average. Also, it gives you mileages from every year onwards. So as you can see, there's a fully comprehensive report on that car alone. So use our discount code ADDICTS20, it's in the link below, to get the history on the next car you're going to buy. We use it, and I've bought cars in the past that have had damage and I was completely unaware of it, but this could give you the ammunition you need to negotiate, or at least allow you to avoid the purchase in the first place. That's what we're using today. Man, thank you so much for this.
It's all right.
I know the exact time the last time I sat in a Ford Granada, and it was about 1993 or something. My uncle had one, and I always remember thinking, whoa, they're a massive car, like, you know, but nowadays...
Yeah, nowadays it's nothing compared
to nothing, like, you know, they're tiny inside.
Yeah. Your window open?
Yeah, mate, look, electric windows. Mate, this is presidential, isn't it?
Heated seats. I mean, it's a bit hot for heated seats, but...
yeah. But this must have been, so the gear was the top, was like...
The Gear X was the top.
Oh, and this is a gear? What?
No, this is actually the Gear X.
Oh, is it?
Electric seats and everything, so if you want to go forward and backward, you can...
Oh, it has as well. So it was it standard and unrestored when you got it?
Yeah, so I picked it up, it was just it was a standard colour, it had all the chrome arches, chrome literally everywhere.
What colour was it? Like, was it like that really horrible beige they did?
No,
or
it was
brown?
it was actually called Nimbus Grey, so it was kind of a grey colour anyway.
Okay, yeah.
It was like a bluey tinge to it.
Yeah.
So yes, it was just that colour, but the lacquer and the paint had gone on the roof, so the whole reason was, you know, it needed a respray anyway.
Yeah,
so yeah, so that was the reason as to why it got changed to this colour.
And it had the factory, this would have been a V6, 2.8 V6.
Yeah, 2.8 V6. It was on a carbon, it was manual.
Yeah.
5-speed for a Type 9 5-speed.
Yeah.
It was alright for what it was. I mean, it was about 140, 150 brake horsepower.
Back in the day, they were a luxury car, weren't they? They were competing against like Jags and, you know, that big stuff.
So it weren't too bad, but then obviously it had issues. I mean, you can't have a Ford without Ford having issues, right?
No. Especially when they're, how old is this? 82, 83?
No, this is 85. So this was one of the last ones that was actually registered.
And they would have gone over to the Sierra, or no, they would have gone to the rounder shaped Granada, wouldn't it?
That's what he went to after that. So it's about, it's 40 years this year, but then it doesn't become historic until next year because they do it on the tax years.
It's so comfy inside. I love, do you know what? After being in that race car, man, I'm like, well, this is well fun, but more than 10 minutes in it, and you're like, I'm knackered, I need to get out. And you get in this, you're like, but where are we going then? We just got drive.
So half the reason why I drive it to every show possible.
Brilliant.
It doesn't really matter where it is, I will drive there because, you know, it's got a 6-speed gearbox. I'm on the motorway, stick it in 6, and then I'm just cruising.
Yeah.
Just
and the 2J's never going to go, they don't go wrong.
No.
You know, unless they're neglected. They're such a good engine.
Yeah.
That sounds so good, doesn't it? How good does that sound? I wish mine sounded like that. For some reason, my Supra, same. So this is, again, we've probably spoken. Man, it's weird being in a Granada that makes that noise, isn't it? How cool is that?
It is, but it's just
the last time I spoke to you about it, you were like, it's kind of together, but it's not at the potential that it should be. And it was like 400 horse or 380. I can't remember what it was.
When we last spoke, it was 360.
Yep.
And yeah, for me at the time, it was more than enough. It was fun. It made all the right noises.
Yeah, yeah.
But with this turbo, you know, and when it went in to get mapped, it, you know, it made 385.
Yep.
Then it went to 393.
Yeah.
It wanted to go over 400.
Yeah.
but we was like, the torque will end up breaking things, so we dialed it down back to 385, and it sits there safe, comfortable, and it's
drive
just
it anywhere in the country,
literally anywhere. And I've got the power. I just flex my big toe, and I can just show people up, overtake people,
And I suppose people, if you go from the outside, you must get a bit of hate from like retro car people who like to keep things original. They're like, what, you painted that Granada? That's a classic car now. What have you and then you open the hood and they're like, oh no, you really have ruined it. Like, you put something decent in there.
For me, that's what makes me sleep better at night.
The haters.
The fact that people hate it is just amazing, because brilliant. It's like, I know I've done a good job. Yeah,
exactly. And if it creates a reaction and a response, then it's done its job, isn't it? And ultimately, that's the thing about car culture. Like, it's for you. It ain't for anyone else.
No, exactly.
You know, and if you enjoy it, like, look, we both started howling when you put your foot down, because it's just fun. It's like, it's got all the qualities of old classic cars, which I love. I'm not a big fan of new cars, but it's reliable.
Yeah.
And so you can drive everywhere, you know?
Exactly. And that's the beauty of not just, if it being a Jap engine, is that the Jap engines from the 90s were just built for reliability.
I can tell it's spinning the absolute piss out of the rear tyres. So what it worries me a little bit, because I think I know what you're going to say when I say, what axle has it got in it?
It's got the original Granada.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. Are they known to be like really strong?
Well, this one is at the minute.
It's put up with it, isn't it, to be fair?
Yeah, considering I've had it back for, just over a year.
Yeah.
With the engine in it, obviously, and with the new tune, it's been a couple of weeks.
Yep.
It's been fine. When I've absolutely, smashed the bollocks out of it, it's put up with it, and it's done its job. I do have another diff with a quaif getting fitted into it.
Nice. So you must have so much fun in this car, like, because it's got all like I know I keep harping on about it, but it's got. That sounds so good. It's on a. I'm trying to concentrate, but that's so cool being in a car that feels like this. The last one I went, we were listening to ABBA in a tape player, and now this one's doing rolling burnouts up the road. So yeah, so it's making plenty, like, enough power, and of course this is all on like like you say, a 40-year-old chassis. So for it to be making 400 horse, like, and pretty easily as well. What sort of boost pressures you running? Do you know?
No, I think when I was tuning, I think it was around about 1 or 1.5.
So it's not. So it's not. It's not
a lot
at all.
No, it's not stressing out at all. It's just, and like I said, it's one of those things. It's like I can use it all the time.
Yeah.
I can smash the bollocks out of it if I want to, but then I know it's going to be reliable when I just come off and just drive it normally.
Exactly, and you can do pulls on the motorway and not worry about it, like overheating and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's probably what it is, but it sounds amazing.
I mean, you just can't go wrong with those noises. I mean, it's just all about.
I would not get bored of it. That is exactly it. And then people must see it, if you're into your cars and you see us driving past, it makes that noise. They must be like, what? Like the confused meme, like, sense. What is going on?
Like, you see people looking at it, they're like, oh yeah, that's a Ford Granada. They love it, thumbs up, whatever. And then if I see the windows cracked just a little bit, I just give it a quick pull.
Give it a little.
Give it a turbo noise, and then you'll see their face change. Like,
they go, what? So they're either thinking you've ruined it, or that's the best shit ever that you've done. You happy with it?
Yeah, I'm more than happy with it.
Yeah.
Like I was saying to Stu today, I wanted to have the most famous Granada in the country.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I said to everyone when I first picked the car. Is that I want it to be the most famous Granada in the country.
I think you might have well have achieved that. I can't think, well, the thing is, everyone knows a 3-door Sierra, don't they? Because they're iconic, they were used in motorsport, and everyone loves the shape and all the rest of it. Yeah. But the Granadas were never used in maybe touring car. I don't
even think they were used in touring car. The only thing that they were used in for racing was banger racing.
Yeah, because they were big, weren't they?
Big, they were strong, and they
probably why there's none of them left, ever get bored of that sound?
No, not at all.
Sounds like a race car, but looks like Grandad going to the shops.
Yeah.
Sounds great, man. Yeah, considering the engine they came with was like, what did you say? I think they were about 140 horsepower, weren't they?
Yeah, about 140 horsepower. The weight's probably the same weight as a Beetle. I think it was cast iron. I think they were made of, or cast steel. I think it was cast iron. They weighed an absolute ton, those engines.
And they didn't make much power, but obviously that was the. They weren't meant to be performance cars. I don't think.
No, not at all. I mean, back in the day, you know, it was a car that was built for luxury.
Yeah.
Like, you know, your boss had them. Your boss's boss had one. You know, it was just.
Is it right on the motorway? Like, 80 mile an hour? Is it like?
Yeah, just
fine?
literally sits and cruises.
Just drives along.
Just drives along, cruises.
Plus you've got the brakes for it, so you know. It's a complete car, isn't it? It's like nothing else needs doing.
Yeah, I mean.
Mate, when you look at this B58 engine, I mean, yeah, the performance is amazing, but they're ugly as sin. It's covered in pipes.
Yeah. And
like it's loads of plastic and all that, and then you look at a 2J and it's just. I think turbo's on the left on a 2J, as it was on the right, I can't remember. The RB's the opposite way around, whichever way it is. And it's like turbo, valve cover, inlet manifold, intercooler. That's it. Like, this is the magic, like, combination of, isn't there? It's a magic combination of stuff that works and is fun and you can use it. Because when you start to go beyond this to like, well, I want it at 650 horsepower, then stuff starts breaking. So then you've got to put stuff like a heavier clutch in, and then it's all jerky, and then, you know.
I covered that already.
So what clutch you got in? Does it mean it's a BMW clutch?
It's a BMW clutch, and I bought it off someone that makes them in Poland, and he makes the whole full kit. So he done the clutch, the flywheel, the bell housing, adapter plate, and you know, and it comes skimmed, so you don't have to wear it in. So
you just bolt it on,
and that's it, go, and you don't have to worry about bedding it in or nothing like that.
Cool. What do they charge for that sort of kit for those people who are looking at, you know?
So that sort of kit, I think it cost me around about £1,200 for that whole kit.
Yeah.
And it's good for about 900 brake horsepower.
Oh right, so that's as much as you're concerned, that's it. It doesn't need. It's never going to need. You're never going to need to upgrade.
Yeah, I'm never going to need to upgrade it at all. You know, and it's there and it's built with whole power that it's going to be using.
Right. Means a bit more. Oh my God. I'm glad I asked you about the brakes.
Yeah, they definitely work now, that's for sure.
It moves. Do you know what I actually like? Is the fact that the suspension has got a bit of compliance to it.
Yeah.
So you can feel the weight transition rather than coilovers. If you had coilovers doing that on that road, it would skip all over the place and just do a burnout for like 100 yards.
Yeah.
But you can actually get a bit of push out of it. Man, you've absolutely nailed it. I love it. I love all the wooden trim that's in there and the gear badges. So that is my reaction to the Granada. Again, thank you so much, mate.
No, thank you.
It's been wicked. I've absolutely loved it. Is there anyone you want to shout out? Because this is a really unique car. You've done a bit of it yourself. Is there anyone else you want to mention?
Yeah, I just want to thank Michael and his brother Craig at M&N Performance Engineering, who the ones who built the engine and fitted it all for me.
Nice.
And just thanks to my partner and my father-in-law for being supportive. And,
yeah, nice. It is so valuable, isn't it?
Exactly.
It is so valuable having the time to do that. If you like this. Not Mark. If you like this, you might like Mark. I don't know. He's on Instagram at Mark2 Nardo Granada. But if you want to see more of the type of stuff we've got loads more stuff coming up. For the meantime, I've really enjoyed myself. That, ladies and gents, before the noise gets any more, is your lot.
Take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough.